Shout out Near Falls with D Hall's podcast.
Welcome to Near Falls with D Hall. He's talking on bars and how they win it all. Yeah, it's just Near Falls with D Hall. The final takedown, the glory or the fall. So loosen up, step on in, wrestle with the need to win. Talking Near Falls with D Hall. Ready or not, he's here to brawl.
All right, joining me now on the call, longtime assistant over at Kiski Area High School, Mr. Matt Keebler. How are you, sir?
Yeah, good, man. How are you?
Always good to talk to you. I know whenever I get a hold of Matt Keebler, it is that time of year. And, let's just get right into it, man. You sent me a video. It's finally done. Talk about the Chuck Tursky wrestling.
Yeah, first, thanks for having me. Yeah, it's been a long time coming for that. We've had, like I think you just said it, we've had it's been a shoebox for about 20 years, and we needed
literally, I'll stop you, my friend. You literally have the size of like one wrestling mat, just like a competition mat. And you guys have been one of the top teams in the WPIAL for years. And when I walked into your wrestling room, I was literally like aghast. Like I was
Sure. To be honest, our competition mat doesn't fit in our wrestling room. Like the dimensions were bigger, and we expect two guys to wrestle on that. And I told the story at the ceremony this weekend. I said, we had counties at our school maybe 5-6 years ago, and we brought the finalists up to warm up in our room. We walked up the back steps, and the kids came into the room, and they were like, "This is it? Like, where's the other room?" I was like, "No, this is it. Sorry, like that's what we deal with every day, So it's gonna be really nice. We got 2 full mats. It's something we're really excited for. The kids are super excited. And we're gonna have our first practice in there tomorrow. So I know everybody's super excited for that.
Gotta love that big high ceilings and the whole nine. That's
Everything. It's got a AC. It's got a HVAC, the air conditioner, the heater. It's got a dehumidifier. I think last time, that was Coach Heater's, his baby. He put a lot of hours into that. And I think he said a little over 350,000 is kind of what we put into it. It's just something that, not going to say we spared no expense, but it's something that we deserved for a long time.
And it'll pay dividends because it creates people like this. Give me your report on, the alumni who are doing big things post high school, post, Kiski grads.
Right now we have, Mark Gray is at Columbia Wrestling. And we have Bella DeVito wrestling at Lock Haven. So we're a little thin right now as far as what's going on in college. But I sat down, and when you sent me that text today, I sat down in the last 10 years. I wrote down some colleges that we've sent guys to. We've had 2 guys at Penn State. We've had 3 guys at Bucknell. We have had a guy at Navy. We had another guy at Lock Haven, West Virginia. We had a Lehigh commit. We had 3 guys at St. Vincent. We had Gannon, Mercyhurst, Pitt Johnstown. That's over the last 10 years. I don't know of a program that has sent that many guys to that many high quality schools. We had University of Pennsylvania with Cam Connor, and those were all our guys. Those guys started with us. They came through with us. They all graduated from those schools. I don't know if there's a school that have done that. There's guys producing some good guys, obviously, and sending them to great schools. But I think that number, I don't know if it's matched in the WPIAL over the last 10 years.
There's no doubt. You definitely have had some some good numbers, some high quality guys, and then obviously the depth and the teams.
And those numbers are just going to keep going. We got on our team right now, Cooper Raskoski's committed to Buffalo. Abe Taylor's going to wrestle in college. Obviously with Mario, and there's 4 or 5 guys on this team right now that are going to wrestle in college, and that's not including what's in the junior high right now. And there's going to be a lot of guys on those wrestling at the next level. So we're really excited right now.
So you mentioned some of those guys right there. Talk to me about, I've watched you guys, some different things be posted on social media, just guys rolling around in your room. Talk to me about your off-season program, and it seems like guys are chomping at the bit.
Oh yeah, we usually give them about a month off after the season, a month and a half, and then we have our camp right at the end of the first week school's out. We have our wrestling camp, and then once that starts, we go 2 days a week, starting there all summer and up to the season. So we've been having between junior high varsity, we've been having close to 40 kids at every practice. And our numbers right now are through the roof. We have over 30 kids signed up for our varsity team right now, and I think there's 56 junior high kids signed up. So we have close to 90 kids, between both of our junior high and varsity, and I think there's 122 in the elementary that was signed up. And even our girls, our girls 7 through 12, I think the last number we had was 32. 7 through 12 girls, which is awesome because I think the first year was 2 years ago and we had 7. So, I mean, all the numbers right now are really good in our program.
Great time to get that room opened up. I love
it. For sure.
All right, Coach. Talk to me about your schedule, man. How do you and Coach Heater prepare these guys for not only, obviously, you guys want to be there as one of the teams that, at the Peters Township at the WPIAL tournament.
Sure.
But obviously you have guys that are trying to push for state championship aspirations.
Yeah. It definitely, we definitely put a lot of time into it. We sit down and start talking, after as soon as the season's over, kind of, hey, what did we really like? What did we not like? What did we want to change? Do we want to do more duels? Do we want to do more individuals? And like you said, it's definitely a give and take. We got some high quality individuals on our team, but we also plan on being a really good team at the end of the year. So, we want to look for things that are going to give our top guys some competition for individual stuff, but also I still don't think there's anything like a good dual tournament, so we want to get that because, those are guaranteed matches for everybody, and really picking and choosing the teams that the places we go to, and even our duels, what teams come in, we're looking for good teams, but also good matches for our guys, and it takes a lot of time. I've heard of coaches that just they're given their schedule, right? We really sit down with our AD and go over it, tooth and nail and try to get the best schedule we can. And I think we're really happy with our schedule. We're looking for one more duel. So if anybody out there has a point and wants to come wrestle us, we're looking for one more. So
there you go. Good little shout out. I love that.
Yeah.
In that vein, talk to me about, you talked about, how you're not just given your schedule. You kind of have, autonomy of whatever you guys want to do, you and Coach Heat. Talk to me about the backside of things, the booster programs, the youth programs, the people that you want to shed light on that may not necessarily get that.
Oh, yeah. I mean, in an established program and a successful program, I mean, it starts from the ground up. And everybody works together, and it has to if you want to be successful. Justin Tresco is the head of our youth program. He does a great job with that. But the guy that really is the head coach of our youth program is Doug Joseph. And Doug, there's a lot of guys that are important to programs, and Doug is just as important as anybody in our program. I mean, Doug's he gets it started with these kids, and these kids just love him and adore him, and they love wrestling because of him, and he gets the guys ready, and he makes our job a lot. I'm not going to say it's easy, but easier. When he's producing those kids from the youth program, they come up to us and are ready to go and are very well coached. Our boosters do a great job with fundraising and stuff because that's a big part of it too. It's just we are in the best place we've been in our program wide in a long time. And, we are really, really excited for that.
Coach, everyone knows who Mario Hutcherson is. Mm-hmm. Give me someone that we might not know that we will know at the end of the year.
Yeah. The dude that has, but well, I don't want to give anybody I don't want to shed, talk lightly on anybody, but everybody has put in the time, and effort this year. They're really hungry. You know, we I'm not going to say we had a lack of success, because a lot of people would really trade for us what we've done the last few years, but it wasn't up to our standards, you know. So, but we worked really hard, and the kids, to try to buy into that 2-3 years ago, not seeing the results, it was hard, you know, and we really had to preach to them, hey, you keep working, the results will come. And, you know, we won our section title last year for the first time in a few years. And that really motivated the kids. I think we could have, I mean, last year, and I know I'm getting off topic a little bit, but, you know, last year there was, I think in the WPIAL, there was 2 teams we couldn't beat. And it was Connellsville and Franklin Regional. I think anybody else, we could have matched up with anybody, you know, and unfortunately we ran into Connellsville that first night, but it really showed the kids what they are capable of. And that just carried into the off season. You know, I'm going to just say 2 kids, because I really, what they've put in. Number 1 is Abe Taylor. And you know, a lot of people do know who he is. I mean, he didn't get as much matches as he did last year, because he was at the same weight with Mark Gray. But, you know, as a sophomore, he came in as a 215 pounder and was 36-5, you know, and then was not a starter last year, and nothing changed with him. He knew that was going to happen. He didn't miss practices. His demeanor never changed. I mean, that kid got, I mean, you know, we at the beginning of the season, we have a team captain vote, and that kid got captain votes. You know, kids wanted him to be a captain because of what he provided for us, you know, and he's just keep working. And he's actually, so Abe, you know, was a 215-pound sophomore. He would split time with Mark at 89 last year. He's going to be our 72-pounder this year. So he's just worked his butt off, and the kid is, I mean, he looks good. He's in shape. You know, he's got his weight down already. He's about 175 pounds. He's wrestling 73 this weekend at West Penn, so he's close to there. But that kid just does whatever it takes for the team. And then another one who just puts his nose down and just works is Jackson Pollock. Jackson's going to be a big part of our middleweights. I don't think that kid has missed a practice. Maybe, I mean, for work, maybe one here or there. But you know, that kid, I think as a freshman, I don't think he won double-digit matches, and he won over 20 matches last year as a sophomore. And you know, as a junior, I expect some big things for him. He's going to be close to a 30-match winner this year. You know, and he's just been, he deserves it from how much time he puts in.
Coach, social media, how can we follow your squad this year?
You know, we have multiple things. We have our X or Twitter or whatever they call it now. I'm kind of in charge for that. I don't know. I don't do as good as I probably should with that. But we have Facebook, Kiski Wrestling, K Wrestling on X, and Instagram. I guess Greg, Mario's dad, runs the Instagram. I'm not a big Instagram guy. I don't even think I have Instagram on my phone, but you know, I'm told he does a very, very good job with that. And you know, he really wanted to take our social media to the next level. You know, he's a really you know, guy that wants to be the best.
Part of the process, man. I know it doesn't seem like it is, but in today's world, man, it is part of the process.
You know what? And you know, any sport, you know, you don't get the notoriety as you should. You know, this is a sport where everything is done in the shadows and when nobody's looking and stuff. And these guys deserve the recognition and things. So, you know, but, you know, we're really excited.
Give me the coaching staff that is helping you and Coach Heath this year.
Okay. Yeah. You know, Coach Heath, he's the guy that runs the ship, man. And there's not a better guy that does that. You know, he's you know, for football, you say he's an X's and O's type of guy, man.
Right.
But he runs everything. He's very organized. He does everything right, you know? So, you know, I'm still there. Obviously this will be my 18th year, as an assistant. Steve Carney, is another assistant. He's got head coaching experience at Knock. This is going to be his 3rd year with us. Darren Miller, you know, his job, thank goodness.
You guys got him back. I love
it. Yeah,
Darren's
back.
Such a big snag for you guys.
Oh my God. Yes. Darren's job, you know, luckily works out that he's able to come in and help us. He actually got a job offer from VMI They wanted him to go down there and be an assistant coach. But Darren has a really, really good job. He's got a government job. So he really couldn't give that up. But luckily the job enables him to come into practice. Darren he brought a new, renewed kind of hard-nosed, tough, that kind of, attitude, right?
Old school Kiski style.
The old school, you're right. The old, and nobody embodies that much. Is like Darren. And Darren's 205 pounds now. So he graduated at 126. So he could roll with anybody. Matty Siska's back. He does really good with our lighter middle weights. I mean, another college guy. Mullen is still back. He's going to be running the junior high team. I've never seen Mullen,
baby.
Listen, I've never seen Mullen smile as much as he has coming into this season, because he knows what he has this year. This team is going to be special, right? Dylan Mullen, Jimmy Beisline is helping him out. Jared Curcio, another college wrestler, and Luke Pollock, who's and I think of, and I'm not even, I could go into the girls: Justin Tresco, Doug Joseph, Nate Knoll, Matt Tursky. Tursky's son is coming to help out. Out of all those, I think there's 16 or 17, all but one, and that's Coach Heater is an alumni. So which is awesome. It means more. It really does. But it was really exciting.
Listen, I gotta expand on that. How do you guys create such a family atmosphere at Kiski? And everyone sees it. It's like you guys get people that come back and want to give. Like, where's that come from?
It all started when I was in high school, right? I was a decent wrestler. I'm not going to say I was good, because was good a word that was describing? No, but Tursky and Heater coached me as hard as anybody in that room, and it was like, everybody's the same. Everybody's going to get coached. And I think that's kind of what I like walking into the room. That's what kind of I expect. Everybody's the same. And we really, and I think the kids see that and understand that. They know, like, hey, like, we're over here trying to, coaching this guy, Mario, when we're coaching Mario just as hard, coaching Cooper, Jackson, Johnny DeLuca, Gavin Murphy, everybody gets the same energy there, and they understand it. And it's such a family, like you said, a family atmosphere. There's the local restaurant a few years ago, Coons Crossroads, from the Coons from the wrestling. You'd go in there.
Shane Coon, of course.
Shane Coon, Chad Coon, Troy Coon.
One time, I know Shane.
Right, yeah, right. You would go in there on a Friday night after, and there'd be 8 to 10 families, all wrestling families in there just hanging out. And when you love and respect the person that you're in the room with, just special things happen, and you want to be a part of that, and when we talked, I said about the colleges, these guys aren't just going to, they're not working at Buy and Fly across the street, and nothing's wrong with that, obviously, but these guys are high level jobs. Like I said, University of Penn, Bucknell, like those guys are getting high level jobs, and it's hard for some of them too, but some of them make a conscious effort because they want to come back. We just had Jack Bloomer this weekend at the thing. He goes, "Hey, what can I do?" He said, he just got a job at Caterpillar. He's like, is there any weekends? Is there anything I want to come in and roll around with you guys? It's just, it's something that was built a long time ago when Tursky started it and Heater started, and it's just something that is just snowballed, and we just try to maintain it for that and everything.
Coach, anything or anyone you want to shout out before I leave you go?
Just the guys, man. I mean, those guys have been working their butts off. We lost such a good leader last year in Mark Gray. Mark really took the next step as a junior on what it takes to be a leader. We kind of challenged him to do that, because I don't think he was being the person he wanted to be. And he really changed that as a junior, and especially as a senior, and he kind of showed, Mario, him and Mario wrestled every day at practice, and kind of Mark showed Mario what it was to be a leader in the room, and Mario kind of showed Mark how to train and work hard and do the right thing, because that's Mario. Mario is your silent guy. He's not very vocal, although he's getting there, but he does all the right things. That kid works his butt off. He trains, he takes days off. He eats clean. He's getting good grades. He's the guy that the leader by example, and especially like the younger guys, they see what Mario's doing and they want to replicate that. Cooper Ruskowski is the guy that's he's being a little bit more of the vocal guy, but another great kid who does all the right things. Like I said, Abe is another one who comes in, and he's a team guy, and we sat down and told our guys this the other day. We've had a lot of really good teams, and the special teams are the teams that when they sat down, it was like, what am I going to do for the guy beside me, rather than what am I going to do for me? Because the me will come, right? We have that part of the season that where you can be selfish and it's all about me. But up until that point, to be the best team you can be is what are you going to do for the guys beside you? And we referenced this, a few years ago. Darren Miller was a 132 pounder, and he was like, we had a guy, we had kind of a hole at 20, and he said, you know what, I'm going to go down for the team to get this other guy in, and we ended up winning the WPIAL title because of that. And those guys, we were so good team, so many good teams that we didn't even have to worry about weights, because they worked themselves out. Hey, you want to go here? I'm going to go down here. Hey, you want 170? Jack Bloomer and Nick Delp. Nick's senior year, Jack said, hey, Nick, you want 170? I'll go down to 60. Makes them better. Cam wanted to go 160. Jack, you want 60? I'll go down 52. We didn't have anything to do with that. They just worked it all. They just worked it all. It just worked itself out. And I think that's the part where we're lacking right now is guys don't understanding that aspect of it is the team part. Like, hey, we got to figure out where the weights fall and they take care of that. But I mean, we're getting there. We 100% we're getting there. We're still a young team this year, as young as we were last year.
I do have one more question for you.
Okay.
I'm mad that I missed it.
No, you're good.
What's your goals and expectations for the squad?
It's be individually and as a team, just be the best person you can. You be the best version of yourself, right? We got guys that, hey, not everybody's a Mario Hutcherson, not everybody's a Cooper Ruskowski, but hey, you got to set goals, and you got to justify those goals. Like, hey, I want to be it's anything from a 500 wrestler to a starter to a WPIAL qualifier to a state placer. What are you capable of, and what is the best version of yourself? And we're going to coach you. We're going to coach you. That's how we're going to coach you. What are our team goals? Hey, do we want to go to states? Yes. That's how you're going to get coached. If you don't want to do that, let us know now, and then we'll scale. But we don't know how to do that, and we know the guys are going to say that, right? We know the guys are going to say that's what we want to do. So that's how you're going to get coached. If you don't want to get coached like that, when we're running those circles, just run right out the door. Find another sport, because that's not what it's going to be. That's not what it's going to be in our room.
Love the Kiski program, man. I can't wait to see what you guys do this year. By my opinion, you guys are going to be one of those, 4 to 8 teams at the end of the year.
We if everybody gets in the lineup, man, we got a lot of potential. So we're excited.
Love that, Coach Keeps. I'll see you out there, my friend.
My man. We'll see you
later.